Joining me right now, Democratic Congressman Adriano Espaillat of New York. Congressman, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kate.
You have a perspective on this that no one else does. You were an undocumented immigrant, brought here as a child, gained citizenship decades ago.
That's correct.
What did you hear in your district this weekend?
Fear, for the most part. This action by the president, or this threat by the president, has sent chilling effects across the country, and people were fearful because they still have rights. Anybody that steps in U.S. soil has rights. The rule of law governs this nation. It cannot apply to one person and not the other. And so unless ICE comes with a search warrant signed by a federal judge, they shouldn't open up their door. If they're arrested, they're entitled to an attorney. If the ICE comes in illegally, they can film them in their own phone.
Did you hear of massive sweeps?
No sweeps. This was a threat, but one cannot tell if they're going to start today or tomorrow. So the fear is out there, it's cast out there in very broad terms, and I think that that's what the president's trying to accomplish.
Because that's actually what I was
he rules
ask.
by fear.
Well, that was, the whole conversation was, it's happening, 2,000 people are going to be picked up, and now it seems like it's something different. It might be slower, longer, more scaled back. Do you think it was a change in tactic, or do you think this was a scare tactic?
It's a scare tactic to try to motivate his base of white nationalists or very conservative and even racist people that are part of his political base for next year. But let me say something, Kate. Border Patrol has about 11,000 people in custody already, 4,600 of which are families, 5,800 are individuals, and about 421 unaccompanied minors. Cells are right now up to full capacity. What held 35 people, now there's about 155 people per jail cell. And so this will exacerbate the process, and it's mainly moms and people, recent arrivals that are seeking asylum, that will be scooped up. So people are fearful. They should know their rights. They should exercise their rights. I believe that ICE agents should wear body cameras. I have a bill that calls for that. And body cameras will document everything so that the ICE agent doesn't violate the law. And of course, the immigrant is also sure that his or her civil rights are protected.
Now add to that, the president will be announcing new regulation that it sounds like could upend asylum laws, basically making it impossible for anyone traveling through Mexico to apply for asylum at the U.S. border. What do you say to that about that?
That's so horrendous.
Why?
People are fleeing violence or natural disasters in some cases. A mom that's seeing her son be recruited by a violent gang will pack her things and leave. A small businessman like I met over in Elizabeth, New Jersey, in the federal facility there, that was being extorted and threatened by gang members to pay a gang tax, left everything behind, didn't want to lose their lives. And we're going to stop them at the border? That's so unlike what America should be. We should, each case by case, we should give them a full opportunity to make their case for asylum. Now, in many cases, the people that will be arrested if this threat goes through will be people that haven't been able to make it to court because they haven't been notified. I
have been told by immigration attorneys that there is that the system basically has collapsed in terms of the notification to show up to court system. But
not only that, for me to establish asylum, I have to bring evidence. Sometimes it takes a significant period of time for me to bring the evidence to show the judge that, in fact, my life is in danger. And that's not being offered to these immigrants. So this is horrendous. This is unlike what we've done in the past with people seeking asylum. And again, is a wedge political issue that the president is using right now to motivate his voters for next year.
Let's talk about now what is another politically motivated issue. The president has been just on a tear against some of your colleagues. In tweets this weekend and more this morning, aimed at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Presley, Tlaib, and Omar, attacking them with a racist trope. We've talked about on the show already this hour, saying they should come back from where they came from. What is your reaction when you saw this?
Well, guess what? They come from America. I think maybe one or two of them.
We have pointed that out. But when you saw the tweet, what do you think?
It's a racist tweet. And I think that these young women of color bring to our party a wealth of information, experiences, and bold ideas. Our party is a big tent party. We have robust and very controversial debates very often, but at the end of the day, we sit at the dinner table and we break bread. Unlike the Republican Party, which is very monolithic. You look at that side of the aisle, it looks completely the same. You look at our side of the aisle, it looks more like America.
Does it matter to you, Congressman, what the president believes in his heart when he's using a racist trope, or if he's just saying something for purely political reasons.
No, we're right and he's wrong. Clearly, using the race card, a wedge issue, scapegoating immigrants. Traditionally, we look at history. Every time and time again, has been used for real bad goals and objectives.
It worked for him in 2016.
Well, it's not going to work for him next year. And, we're hoping that America will see it for what it is a threat to pin people against each other. We want to bring America together. And having those women at the table brings different opinions for some folks.
And,
but I think,
yes, and they can be controversial.
Well, there's controversy in all parties.
Yes.
And yet we're able to come together and seek a common goal.
David Axelrod tweeted something out that it was really, I thought, interesting to point out. He says, with his deliberate racist outburst, Donald Trump wants to raise the profile of his targets, drive Dems to defend them, and make them emblematic of the entire party. It's cold, hard strategy.
Yeah, I see that, but we have a leader in Nancy Pelosi, I like to have her in the room when the boys are meeting to cut up the piece of pie, right? I like to have her there. I think she represents our interests. She's able to bring everybody together. I saw how she came together with those same young women over the weekend.
This is in the midst of them. There was a fight that spilled quite publicly
she's
between
a
them.
pro, and she held us together when government was shut down and when the president tried to come in and impose his State of the Union. She told him, you can't come in here. And guess what? He didn't. She's a real leader. She's going to bring us together. I have confidence in her, and I have confidence in those 4 young women.
Congressman, thank you for being here. Really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.